So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Mark Spears had to say about what these NBA scouts had to say about Bronny James as a potential NBA player, and then we're going to come back and really get into the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Mark, you were just in Chicago for the Combine.
Yeah.
What are the scouts saying about Bronny?
Well, they wanted to reserve judgment until they saw him. They did see he was listed as 6'1", and they did see he had a 40.5 vert. But I was like, what would you do right now before he goes and plays? What would you do? And they said, we wouldn't draft him. Both of them said they would not draft him. I said, okay, let me give him a couple days. Let's see what happens after they watch him play. Now, this is their take after watching him play. Scout 1. I still don't think he's ready, but he did some good things. He's on the smaller side, so he's going to have to be elite on defense. You can see he has good vision, makes right passes, takes good shots. He's probably going to need more time. If the Lakers don't draft him, I don't see anyone drafting him. Teams would want him on a two-way, and I don't think Clutch would want that. It gets a little tougher. The other scout I talked to, positional athlete, doesn't function as an elite athlete, tweener stuck between two positions. Should be a point guard based on his size, but he can't run an offense. He's handicapped as an undersized shooting guard because he can't shoot. 0-4 on threes on one day, 1 for 3 the other day. Needs screens to create space, and his only scoring came on paint touch floaters and can only go left. His strength is supposed to be defensively, but he's a switch matchup. Every bigger player who switched on him scored. He's a poor man's Davion Mitchell. He is not an NBA prospect, in my opinion. Not my words, words of 2 veteran NBA scouts.
So you heard what Mark Spears had to say there. What are my thoughts about this? Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm being honest with you, this is one of the only times I've heard someone give such a critique of Bronny James as a basketball player. This is the only time. Now, they showed a graphic while he was speaking that Bronny James was listed as 6'4", and then we now find out he's 6'1", but he's very, very athletic with a 40-inch vertical. But usually the conversation around him has been he has a chance to make it. He's very this and is that. And some people talk about how well-spoken he is, and he is. Let me just say that. And I want to just talk about that for a second, although that has nothing to do with him as an NBA player. I listened to him speak for the first time a few days ago, and the kid seems very, the young man seems very, very sharp. Very, very sharp. I was highly impressed, with the way he communicated his ideas. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of these guys are not as polished as he is, especially at that age. You can tell he's a guy that reads, and he's very soft-spoken, but I like the way he came off. To me, he was refreshing to hear him speak as a young man, as a 19-year-old. So to me, that stood out to me, although that has nothing to do with him as an NBA player. But based on what Mark Spears is saying, it seems to me that his chances of becoming an NBA player are very, very slim, and if he does, it may be for other reasons that a lot of us have discussed. Is it nepotism? Is it this? Is it that? But I was very surprised to hear that. Why? Because you seldom hear people in media discuss this topic the way that Mark Spears did. He just gave you the cold, hard facts. The cold, hard facts. And if that's what he knows and that's what those scouts know, chances are that's what a lot of GMs know. Now, there's another aspect of this that we need to take into account, which is the monetary aspect of it. Some of you are like, what are you talking about? If a team goes out there and drafts a Bronny James, number one, you're going to be bringing in a big name because he's LeBron's son. And then LeBron has expressed his desire to play with his son. So if you have Bronny James on your team, there is a chance, a probability that LeBron could find a way to get on your team at least for 1 year. And if he does that, it's going to bring a lot of attention to your organization, which is going to increase the value because a lot of people are going to be talking about them. A lot of people are going to be buying the jerseys and all of that. So there's a monetary angle this story has that I think a lot of those teams are weighing. Maybe they may not be weighing it from a basketball standpoint, but maybe with some of the other things that come with it, right?